And welcome back to Jordan-Hare Stadium. I'm Jared Diller, alongside me Noah Gardner, getting ready for the fourth quarter here. ULM has the ball. Here's the snap. It's going to be an end around, and it's going to be running up to about the 39-yard line. It is number 3, Marcus Green, on the carry. A nice little carry by ULM.
Yeah, it was a good play drawn up there by Louisiana Monroe, trying to put a shot in the arm of this offense. It was designed in around, got him some space, and he used his speed to pick up the big gain.
It's going to be 1st and 10 on the Auburn 37. ULM trying to salvage something out of this game, down 56-7 with 14:42 to go. ULM is a snap. It's going to be a run up the middle. He's not going to get anywhere. It's going to be number 24, Ben Luckett, for not even a yard. He's going to be back at the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10.
I'm going to be honest, Jared. I've been really impressed by this second-string defensive line of Auburn being able to penetrate and not allow the rushing game to get anything going here in the second half either. ULM came in with about 40 yards rushing. Now they're only up to 91 as we enter the fourth quarter.
Tackled by Byron Coward now. ULM lining up again. It's going to be a snap to number 7, Jared Maps. Doesn't get very far. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play. A tackle by number 14, Stephen Roberts, and number 49, Darrell Williams on the play.
Tunnel screen's kind of been the bread and butter of this ULM offense when they've tried to make big plays and get some yards. They went to it right there just to try and stay ahead of the chains, but they got a long 2nd down here, 2nd and 10.
It's going to be 3rd down and 8 for ULM on the Auburn 35-yard line. Here's the snap. It's going to be a run up the middle. He has some space. He's going down. He's rumbling and bumbling all the way down to the 16-yard line. That's going to be number 26, Duke Carter, with a major run for ULM to get down into the Auburn red zone, tackled by number 14, Stephen Roberts.
Yeah, and kind of noticed before the play, Auburn shifted out of what they were originally, of the formation that they're originally in, and kind of went to a more flat defensive front. That allowed for the hole to open up on the wing, and we know how the play ended after that with a big gain.
You get another snap. It's going to be a run up the middle. Looks like it's going to be Duke Carter again, getting a couple of yards down to about the 13-yard line of the Tigers.
Marshall Taylor coming up with a big tackle there. Really impressed with him so far as he's gotten 2 tackles on this drive. Really stepping up to stop the run game thus far.
Garrett Smith engineering a drive, marching down the field on this Auburn Tigers defense. Hands on a couple of hips out there for the defense as they line up again. Smith motioning over a wide receiver. He's going to fake it to them. He's going to roll a little bit to the right. He's going to throw it up to Duke Carter. He had to tip it up in the air and bring it back down for the catch. He'll be tackled by number 17, T.J. Neal.
Yeah, and T.J. Neal wasn't surprised by the screen play there. Was completely aware of it, manned up on running back coming out of the backfield, and did a great job of completing the tackle on number 26, Duke Carter.
And so now ULM in another predicament. 3rd and 7 on the 13. You don't got to get a touchdown. You're going to get down to about the 6-yard line. Garrett Smith asking for the ball, and in his snap, he's dropping back. He is going to look. Here it comes. He's going to be knocked down by number 4, Jeff Holland, coming around the end on his blind side and taking down the quarterback. He was able to get the ball off, but it's going to be incomplete, dropping around at about the 11-yard line. And here comes 4th down for the Warhawks.
Everybody could see on that last play that Jeff Holland was going to come up with the play, as Garrett Smith was completely unaware, and Holland ran right by his offensive lineman, came up with a big block there, but still, no, you would like to see a sack in that situation.
ULM, nothing to lose. They're going to go for it. 4th and 7 on the 13. Garrett Smith in shotgun, stepping back. He's going to float one to the end zone. It is going to be knocked down by number 22.
John Broussard Jr.
It is going to be John Broussard Jr. with the deflection. It was intended for Xavier Brown for ULM, and Broussard Jr. just coming in clutch at the goal line right there, knocking that ball away, and the Auburn offense is going to take over at their own 13-yard line.
Great play there by Broussard Jr. to assert his body and put himself in between the receiver and the ball, ultimately getting the deflection for himself and Auburn and getting the defense off the field. Backups really showing some great things out there for Auburn as they've been coming up, been doing a good job of fundamentally tackling and have been very aware and not allowing anyone to beat them in the passing game either.
And we're going to take a quick break here. You listen to Auburn football on the Auburn Sports Network. Welcome back to Jordan-Hare Stadium with 11:32 to go. Auburn is up 56-7 over the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. Right now on the video board showing a SEC game in the third quarter. It's Georgia is up on Tennessee 24-14 as the Auburn Tigers will take the field here for another drive. Noah, how well has Auburn been doing in this second half?
Well, I've really been impressed with how the Stars came out here and finished up their jobs and then kind of handed the baton off to the second stringers. And John Franklin III has been dazzling with his touchdown pass and his big rushing touchdown.
Here's John Franklin. He's going to hand the ball off to number 10, Stanton Truitt, up the middle almost to the 20-yard line. It'll be a 7-yard run.
Yeah, Stanton Truitt coming into the season, I've listed as a wide receiver, but he's really gotten a lot of his plays drawn up for him as a running back and getting a lot of carries out of the backfield. This Auburn Tigers coaching staff really loves the speed that makes him such a dynamic player. You'll see him on end arounds and sometimes runs up the middle like that, zone read type plays. And it's not a shock to me to see him alongside John Franklin III right now.
Auburn lining up again, taking time, getting the play for the sideline. John Franklin asking for the ball, and he's going to hand it off to Truitt again. Truitt's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, but he's not going to get much more. He's going to be tackled by number 49, Nate Link.
To go back and talk more about Stanton Truitt, you kind of see his elusiveness there in the backfield. It could have been dropped for a loss, but was able to get back to the line of scrimmage or possibly even gain a yard with a nice nifty juke move.
It is going to be 3rd and 3 on their own 20 for the Auburn Tigers. John Franklin III at quarterback in the shotgun. Truitt still lined up right beside him in the backfield. He's going to move. He's going to hand it off to Truitt up the middle to about the 24-yard line in a designed quarterback roll, but a handoff to Truitt up the middle, and he's going to be tackled by number 7, Cortez Cisco Jr.
Yeah, and I was really interested to see before that play how John Franklin III handled one of his first true third down situations of the day. He's been checking all the right boxes of doing the right things today, but I was interested to see what Auburn would draw up on third down. You get to see what John Franklin III brings to table because he's such a dynamic player. You have to worry about him, too. It's not like with Sean White, John Franklin III being able to also run the football.
He's going to be a handoff to Stanton Truitt. He's going to be running up into the 31-yard line, again being a workhorse on this drive for the Tigers, getting a gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, once again, kind of two players in the backfield with a lot of speed, a lot of elusiveness in the backfield, and John Franklin III having to worry about him possibly keeping it. You also could sleep on someone like Truitt, who's got the shiftiness and the speed to make big plays too, and I think that's really been the key to this drive of having to worry about two players with a lot of home run qualities to their running game.
Franklin at quarterback position. He's going to hand it off to number 9, Cam Martin, on the play.
Martin checking in for Truitt, getting himself some carries as well. Kind of powering ahead for that first down. Like to see his strong side.
Number 9, Marcus Hubbard on the tackle. Auburn offense going to look over to the side. They've really slowed down this offense, getting the plays from the sideline instead of going their up-tempo hurry-up that they've been doing for the first 3 quarters. 8:25 left in the game. Auburn 56, ULM 7. And here's the handoff to Martin again. He's going to run up to about the 37-yard line of Auburn. He's going to be tackled.
And with Auburn trying to eat clock right here, I mean, it's very obvious, up 56-7, only running the football and really slowing down this offense. I'm going to be looking at how good this offensive line is and being able to get yardage for these or for John Franklin III and the running backs in this situation, because ULM knows what Auburn's going to be doing in these situations. They can stack the box, and I'm interested to see what the backup offensive line can do in the running game.
And here's John Franklin in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off to Martin again. He's going to have a big push, and he's going to be down about 2 yards shy of the first down. It's going to be, either be third down or fourth down. It looks like it'll be third down here on the play.
Yeah, and the offensive line just kind of talking back about that. It got a nice push on that play, and that's what led to the 6-yard gain.
John Franklin III going over to Cam Martin, congratulating him on that run, getting the play from the sideline. And here they go. Auburn's going to line up Martin to Franklin's right. In the shotgun, Martin's going to move to the left. Franklin with the snap. And he's going to give it to Martin. Martin going around the right side, breaking a couple of tackles. There's a flag on the play, and we have a ULM player getting up, kind of shaky right now. Looks like it's going to be a face mask on Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, it really appeared to see that Louisiana Monroe player being blocked, trying to grab the face mask.
There'll be a 15-yard penalty tacked on to the end of the run by Martin. And now Auburn moving over to the Louisiana Monroe side of the field with 6:46 left to go in the fourth quarter. Auburn 648 total yards, 32 first downs in this game. They've really controlled it.
Yeah, Auburn doing a great job in the trenches, getting some good pushes and some good jumps on the ball and moving it down the field, allowing some holes to open up for this running game. Cam Martin's having himself a field day out here and probably having himself a good time too.
John Franklin III is going to hand it off again to Cam Martin up the middle to the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 6-yard run for Martin.
And it's really promising also to see these young running backs in this Auburn system that would kind of be brought along as the years go on. Players like Cam Martin, Malik Miller, it's really nice to see them get some big chunks of yardage here late in the game. I know it is late in the game and a lot of the backups are on, but still it's good to see these guys get some carries and do some good things.
John Franklin III getting the signal from the sideline. He's going to go back to the line of scrimmage, staying in the shotgun. Cam Martin to his right. He's going to get the ball, and he's going to hand off to Martin up again, up the middle. He's going to go down around the 26-yard line, a 4-yard carry.
And I'm loving what I'm seeing from Martin right now. I mean, he's a 5'10", 175-pound freshman who's running the football like he's 6 foot 211, like Kerryon Johnson. He's a strong guy. He's fighting for every yard he can, and they're running him in between the tackles, not kind of playing to his faster side, as he was an anchor on the 4x200-meter relay team, and he set a national record time. So he's a fast player out there, and they're using him like he's a power back.
Coming down to about 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. John Franklin III at quarterback, getting the handoff to Cam Martin again down to the 23-yard line. Tackled by number 6, Wesley Thompson for Louisiana Monroe.
I think this Louisiana Monroe defense is about ready to get out of here too, Jaron, having a hard time stopping this Auburn offense. They've really been chewing clock. Drive total now up to over around 5 minutes on the drive. Auburn looking to cap it off with a score.
Auburn taking their sweet time. Ball on the 23 of Louisiana Monroe, 1st and 10. And they're lining up, Cam Martin lining up to the left of John Franklin. Franklin still in the shotgun. He's going to slap his hands together, ask for the ball, and he's going to give it to Cam Martin again, only getting a couple of yards. Tackled by number 99, Darion Ford of the Warhawks.
Cam Martin tackled by number 99, Darion Ford.
And Auburn taking their time subbing, got a couple of players subbing in, a couple of players. See a couple of new guys coming into the game. John Franklin III is going to stay in at quarterback. He's going to get the call from the sideline as a couple of new players will come onto the field for the Tigers. Franklin in the shotgun. Here's a snap. And he's going to hand it off to this running back. He's going to be running up into the 9-yard line. That is going to be
number 30, Damian Lewis.
Davian Lewis, number 30, on the run for the Tigers down inside the 10-yard line. Auburn's going to have first and goal on this drive.
Man, Auburn's really reaching into the depths of their bench and depth chart to pull out Damian Lewis to come and play some running back. Haven't seen him get touches all year long, so this is a treat. We're getting to watch a lot of players get touches out of the backfield, getting to see a lot of guys that we don't typically see, and they're doing some good things out there, and it's just a great thing to see that on a homecoming night.
John Franklin, third, in the shotgun. He's going to give the ball to number 30, Damian Lewis, up the middle to about the 4-yard line for another play. I'll tell you what, Rhett Lashley and his Auburn offense is not making it easy for me trying to find these players on the depth chart right now.
Yeah, you'd have to really kind of scour through the depth chart to try and find Damian Lewis. As Auburn's used all 4 of their running backs today. They've all done good things now. Assistant coach Lashley's deciding, hey, let's put some other guys in there and see what they can do.
Auburn has second and goal on the 5, looking to punch it in here. Play clock at 5. John Franklin, third at quarterback. He's going to hand it off to Lewis. Lewis trying to find a hole. He's going to be down to about the 2-yard line. It's going to be third and goal for the Tigers, trying to punch it in here with about 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
You know, Auburn not necessarily trying to run up the score, but if you're doing good things and you can't be stopped and you're running the football trying to chew the clock, looks like Auburn could be about to cap this drive off in an old-fashioned way.
Auburn taking their time, 15 seconds on the play clock, still getting the play from the sideline. 1:35 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. John Franklin, the third, lining up. Damian Lewis to his left. Here's the play, the snap. Franklin, the third, is going to give it to Lewis. Lewis going around the edge, and he's going to be down at the half-yard line. They're not going to let him get in. It is going to be fourth and goal for the Tigers. Tackled by Cortez Cisco Jr., number 7 of the Warhawks. So now what is Auburn going to do? They got fourth down here on the half-yard line. The offense is looking like they're staying out there. John Franklin III looking for a play.
Fourth down from inside the 1.
You really hate to see that, too, for a guy like Damian Lewis. You really want to see him stretch over the pylon and just couldn't quite get there. Like the effort, though.
Auburn lining up the play. They got 5 seconds on the play clock. They need to hurry up. John Franklin III is going to get the snap. He's going to give it to Damian Lewis. It is a pile at the goal line. They're going to call him short. He's literally at the 2-inch line on the field. I don't think they're going to say he got in at all. So the Warhawks defense coming up big with 37 seconds to go. Is it a game changer? No, but that's going to give you a little bit of confidence right there at the end of the game.
Backs were pushed as far up against the wall as it possibly could. You really hate that kind of thing for Damian Lewis in this situation because you see the whole offensive line rush to his back to try and push him over the goal line. But ULM having none of it, and it looks like Auburn's going to get away with a 56-7 victory today. There's only about half a minute left.
There's only been a couple mistakes in the game for Auburn. I don't even know if you count that as one of them, a turnover on the 1-yard line. I mean, he was down there. Did he get in? I don't think so by that replay. However, Auburn, they have to be happy about how they played here tonight.
Yeah, Auburn's done a great job all across the board at everything they want to do with the starters. They threw the ball really nicely. Sean White had himself a great day. Kerryon Johnson ran the ball very well, got a lot of the touches out of the backfield. He did great things. But then you look at the defensive side of the ball. They've held ULM to 252 total yards and really kind of took away some of the big play ability that guys like Garrett Smith and R.J. Turner had for this squad. Both of those guys, statistical leaders on their team for passing yards, rush yards, that being Garrett Smith, and then receiving yards, R.J. Turner. But both of them completely shut down on the day, and this Auburn defense looking good as ever.
What for Louisiana Monroe, it's not like you could just take a simple kneel and get out of here. You're on your own 1-yard line. You got to do something. You got to get a push against this front of Auburn. So we may see a couple of points still put up on the board, whether it's a safety or a fumble or a Louisiana Monroe touchdown, something. We may see something here from the Tigers or the Warhawks.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if ULM just wanted to take a shot down the field. I mean, why not? It's 56-7 with 37 seconds left. Might just try and chuck one up here. You never know. But another glaring thing, looking at the scoreboard, Auburn was only 11 yards away from their second 700-yard performance this season. It's hard to believe Auburn's had a hard time scoring touchdowns this year when they can put up two 700-yard performances in a single season.
Well, who needs to score touchdowns? We have Daniel Carlson kicking every field goal for you. He only missed one field goal in the year so far, and that was because it was blocked. It was a 56-yard field goal, and even though somebody got a hand on it, it still fell about the 5-yard line.
That coming earlier today in that first quarter when he took about a 57-yarder, I believe.
So Garrett Smith lining up at quarterback in the shotgun for ULM. They're gonna fumble it in the end zone. He's gonna get hit. It's a safety for the. I guess I just jinxed Louisiana Monroe on that one.
You called it, Jared. You called it. Just a fumbled snap. Wasn't much he could do, and he got hit in the jaw by number 97 of Auburn, that being Devereaux Lawrence. Good play for him, this Auburn Tigers defense.
And this just Gary Walker with the hit, number 47. I mean, number 97, excuse me, with the hit to knock them down for the safety. You thought the game was over, but Auburn's going to put up 2 more points. It is now 58-7 with 31 seconds. Auburn just apparently does not want to leave right now for this game.
And that's great to see, though, for a guy like Gary Walker. You know, doesn't get a whole lot of playing time, but still on homecoming, a nice day out here at Jordan-Hare. And he comes up with a big play in the end zone for the safety. You see how excited he was, rushes off to the sideline, gets some big hugs from his teammate. And that's what makes college football great, is seeing plays like that happen no matter what the stage of the game is.
And now Auburn's going to receive on a punt downfield. I don't expect Auburn to try to score again with 31 seconds to go. Then again, Noah, you just mentioned they are 11 yards away from a 700-yard game. Now they have a chance to reach a 700-yard mark, a mark they have reached today. However, it's over 400 rushing yards, totaling 411 on the ground.
I'd be shocked if Auburn didn't take a knee here. But you're right, Jared, coming really close to the 700-yard mark, getting over 400 yards on the ground. Auburn had a similar performance to this earlier in the season when they took on Arkansas State, put up astronomical rushing yard numbers there in that game. And then prior to that, it had been since 2013 since Auburn had put up rushing yard numbers equivalent to these types of statistics. So you see Auburn really asserting themselves and seeing the potential that this running game has if they can try and strike a balance with the passing game, because you can't leave out what Sean White was able to do today.
Craig Ford kicking off from the 20, going back, and it's going to be caught by Stanton Truitt at the 20-yard line of Auburn. So they're flipping the field. It'll be fair caught at the 20.
And kind of understand why he's not taking the return there. Decides to just call a fair catch. Auburn's just going to look to get out of here with a W.
So what I would expect is John Franklin III to walk out in the field, take a knee, and we can all go home. Actually, it will not be John Franklin coming out. It will be number 15 coming into the game.
Tyler Queen
coming into the game for Auburn, taking the knee. The victory formation. Tyler Queen's going to go out a champion tonight for the Auburn Tigers, taking the last snap. And there it is, the knee by Tyler Queen at quarterback. And, okay, I guess we're not leaving yet. The referees are going to call it off. They're going to plant the ball back. And they're going to wait until they get an official word on when to start. There's the whistle. Tyler Queen back under center again. Let's get the snap, a knee, and now the clock will start running. 26 seconds ticking down. Players and coaches walking onto the field. And that, ladies and gentlemen, as time winds down and the band starts to play, will end it for us here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Auburn with the win, 58-7 over Louisiana Monroe here on homecoming night. And Noah, this Auburn team really came out and from the get-go was making a statement.
Yeah, Auburn getting off to a fast start. Sean White with that first rushing touchdown of the season when he dove for the pylon on the first drive. It was great to see him really get involved with his legs and make the right play instead of throwing it into the end zone into traffic. And then you just kind of saw Auburn from there just establish themselves with a running game. And I'll be interested to see how this type of momentum carries into next week when the Auburn Tigers travel to Starkville for their first road game of the season against the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Just a couple of stats here. Auburn with 688 total yards, 278 through the air, 410 on the ground. They had the ball for 33 minutes and had 36 first downs.
Yeah, Auburn just putting up astronomical numbers onto the scoreboard, not only with points but also with their yardage stats. 688 total yards, 36 touchdowns, or 36 first downs, Jared, like you said. This Auburn offense was in a groove, was moving the ball easily and quickly, and it was fun to watch everybody kind of pitch into this great offensive effort because you saw guys all across the board making plays. The offensive side of the ball, I mean, we saw all four running backs with Kerryon Johnson, Petway, Miller, Martin. Also got to see two quarterbacks with Sean White, John Franklin III. Franklin III with 2 touchdowns on the day, 1 passing, 1 rushing. Both of them big plays. You also got to see the receivers make a lot of plays with Marcus Davis and Tony Stevens getting some big grabs, Kyle Davis, Ryan Davis getting some opportunities, and then, hey, Stanton Truitt got to run the football a little bit too. So everybody, it's a complete offensive effort all throughout the game, and it was fun to watch for Auburn, and maybe, just maybe, they can do this next week against Mississippi State and score some touchdowns.
Louisiana Monroe coming up with 251 yards, 139 passing, 112 on the ground with 16 first downs, holding onto the ball for 26 minutes. We always had questions about Sean White and what he could do, but I got to tell you, he's been playing well these last 2 games. Today, 14 for 17, 239 yards, 2 touchdowns, a quarterback rating of 293.3. Let's not forget about John Franklin. I mean, his stats are not very, packed, but he was 1 for 1, 39 yards and a touchdown. So that has to mean for something. In the running game, Kerryon Johnson, 146 yards. John Franklin III, 82. Stanton Truitt, 46. Malik Miller, 45. So everybody getting some carries for the Tigers here. And Noah, going into Mississippi State, what do the Tigers got to keep doing just to keep on rolling?
Well, they've got to really go out there and establish the run like they did today, win the battle in the trenches offensively. The offensive line had some great pushes today. It really opened up some holes for the running game, and that's what allowed Kerryon to really get into a rhythm early and make some big plays. But also they got to throw the football. Sean White, almost a near-perfect day, had over 17 yards per completion. Those are some really good numbers for him because normally you kind of saw him at the beginning of the season, some short yardage situations. You want to see him throw the ball down the field. Auburn's got to be clicking, be balanced, and punch that ball into the end zone, something they've struggled to do against better competition this year. But this can go a long ways for confidence, so carry that into next weekend and go out there and get you a W in your 3rd SEC game of the season.
Auburn came out in the first quarter scoring 14 points and blanking Louisiana Monroe. In the second quarter, Auburn put up another 14 points. Louisiana Monroe finding their only touchdown of the night. Auburn going up 28-7 at the half. In the third quarter, Auburn railroading the Warhawks 28-0. And in the fourth quarter, nothing but fireworks. Auburn outscoring Louisiana Monroe 2-0 in the fourth quarter. And now Auburn is going to go home with a 58-7 win. Auburn is going to move to 3-2 on the season, heading to Mississippi State next week. That's going to do it for us here on WEGL 91.1 FM in the Auburn Sports Network. I'm Jared Dillon, and alongside my partner Noah Gardner. Good night and War Eagle.